debate in Seoul, with both ruling and opposition parties blaming each other. South Korea's ruling party argues that the move is a direct result of opposition-led impeachment efforts, particularly against Prime Minister Han Duck-soo, who played a key role in trade negotiations. However, the opposition party claims that the designation is a proof of the Yoon administration's diplomatic failures, linking it to recent political turmoil. In local news, Busan City announced a taxi for people with disability and taxi for pregnant women integration aim will be integrated into a single operating system starting next month. This integration aims to improve the mobility convenience of transportation vulnerable individuals by combining these separate systems into one. The city plans to complete the construction of this operating system by the end of this month and sign agreement with taxi organizations. To prevent taxi dispatch refusals and delays, the city will offer a taxi driver service fee set at 500 won for the taxi for pregnant women, equal to the taxi for people with disability. The Busan City has announced plans to launch a support project in 2025 aimed at improving working conditions for emotional labor workers. Busan officials revealed a new initiative today to enhance workplace environment for workers engaged in emotional labor such as call center agent, retail workers, public transport drivers, apartment security guards, and so on. The project will provide up to 5 million Korean won in funding per workplace for the installation or renovation of rest areas, as well as purchase and installation of heating and cooling equipment. A total of around 10 workplaces are expected to receive support, with businesses required to cover at least 10% of the cost. In international news, French President Emmanuel Macron has urged EU member states to purchase European-made weapons instead of American ones, emphasizing the need for European defense industry to become self-reliant. This announcement comes as a share of the American weapons among NATO European members has risen to 64%. The EU has also revealed a plan to support joint European arms purchases with a €150 billion loan program. Additionally, President Macron is reportedly considering deploying a peacekeeping force of several thousand troops to Ukraine. Now taking a look at the weather across Busan. Sunny conditions will continue all day. The temperature is currently 9 degrees. Wind gusts up to 10 meters per second are making the temperature feel like 7 degrees. The highest temperature would be 9 degrees. We hope you have a pleasant day ahead. And that wraps up this hour's news. Thank you for joining us. You're listening to BFM, 부산영어방송.
Your best choice. BEFM, 부산영어방송.
Coming up next is Midday Mate with Kimberly An. BEFM, 부산영어방송.
Whether you've just relocated or are eager to cook more often, deciding on the kitchen equipment you need can be pretty overwhelming. Fortunately, there are plenty of great kitchen tools available. To prepare meals that taste like they came from a restaurant, having a good set of chef's knives and a quality cookware is essential. Today, we are going to talk about essential kitchen items. It's Monday, March 17th, 2025, and this is Midday Mate. Let's get started!
Take a look around the room. Love comes wearing disguises. How to go about and choose. Break it down by shapes and sizes. I'm a man who's got very specific taste. Just keep breathing. I can't help myself but stare. Double check for double meanings. I'm a man who's got very specific taste. You're just my type. Oh, you got a pulse and you are breathing. You're just my type.
And that was My Type by Saint Motel. This song is about a man who loves all different types of people and has to have them all. Lead singer AJ said he wrote this song after having an argument with a lady friend who said that everyone was his type. This song was released as the lead single of American indie pop band Saint Motel's EP on the same name in August 2014. Saint Motel's music has been described as everything from dream pop to progressive indie. Hello everyone, we're live in the studio in Busan this Monday afternoon. Welcome to Midday Mate. You're listening to us on BEFM 90.5 in Busan and 103.3 FM in the Gijang, Cheongwon, and Noksan areas. And I am your host, Kimberly. And we have people in our YouTube live chat saying hello and coming in. Hello, Benny-nim and Juliet-nim. I hope you're having a wonderful Monday so far. And now let's see what's coming up on the show. In hour number 1, we're always going to start off with what? Yes, Listomania, where we introduce various kinds of lists. And today, we're going to be focusing on essential kitchen items because there are things that we just always need to have in our kitchen in order to do well for cooking and preparing food for our loved ones. After Listomania, we're going to have Cultural Kaleidoscope, where Jennifer introduces interesting diverse cultures and etiquette from around the world. And then in hour number 2, we're going to get into today's quotes, where we introduce meaningful quotes to motivate you each and every day, followed by bite-sized banter, where we have daily fun conversation with a theme with Andrew. After bite-sized banter, we will have Don't Make a Scene, where we introduce useful English expressions after listening to a short clip. And today we're going into the world of Harry Potter. And at the end of the show, we're going to wrap it all up with our segment titled Change Up, where we introduce one sentence by changing it into various sentences with the same meaning. And hello, Sangmin Park님 coming into our YouTube live chat. And yes, happy St. Patrick's Day. I almost forgot today is St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. And now our question of the day and text topic, it is, what is the most commonly used item in the kitchen? So what item do you use the most in the kitchen? Again, what is the most commonly used item in the kitchen? 주방에서 가장 많이 사용하는 물건은 무엇인가요? And it could be lots of different things. It could be your pots, your spatula, your 국자, the big spoon, or maybe just your utensils like forks and knives, or maybe a pan, or who knows. There's so many different types of kitchen essential items out there that we use. So which one is something that you use the most? Okay. Go ahead and send in your answers. Text in pound 9050 or shop 9050 and it'll only cost you 101. Or you can also reach us through Kakao Talk. Search BEFM or 부산영어방송 in Korean. Add us and send in your messages for free. Also, we do have our smartphone app. Search BEFM or 부산영어방송 in any of the app stores. You can listen to our programs and leave us comments after logging in. So now we'll be right back with Listomania after the song. Here is Closer by Tegan and Sarah.
All I wanna get is a little bit closer. All I wanna know is, can you come a little closer? Here comes the breath before we get a little bit closer. Here comes the rush before we touch. Come a little closer. The doors are open, the wind is really blowing. The night sky is changing overhead. It's not just our physical. I'm the type who won't get up so critical. So let's make things physical. I will treat you like you're oh so typical. Treat you like you're oh so typical. All you think of lately is getting underneath me. All I dream of lately is how to get you underneath me. Here comes the heat before we meet a little bit closer. Here comes the spark before the dark. Come a little closer. Lights are off and the sun is finally setting. The night sky is changing overhead. It's not just our physical. I'm the type who won't get up so critical. So let's make things physical. I will treat you like you're all so typical. I want you 'cause I want you. I won't treat you like you're typical. I want you 'cause I want you. I won't treat you like you're typical. Here come dreams of you and me. Here come dreams. Here come dreams of you and me. Here come dreams. It's not just our physical. I'm the type who won't get up so critical. So let's make things physical. I will treat you like you're all so typical. I want you 'cause I want you. I won't treat you like you're typical. I want you 'cause I want you. I won't treat you like you're typical. Treat you like you're typical. Treat you like you're typical. All I wanna get is a little bit closer. All I wanna know is, can you come a little closer.
And that was Closer by Tegan and Sarah. And now it is time for Listomania. We're going to introduce various kinds of lists, but for today, we're going to focus on essential kitchen items. Essential kitchen items. So what is an item that you use in your kitchen for many different uses? So up first for Listomania, we have cheese graters. And not many households have a cheese grater, but if you do, it does wonders in the kitchen. A cheese grater can even up your breadcrumb game. Whether you have a sturdy box grater or a slim profile microplane, most kitchens are not complete without a cheese grater. Who doesn't love a fresh shower of Parmesan floating down onto their pasta like delicate, salty snowflakes? The name of this tool explains its purpose, but it's always worth thinking outside of the box when it comes to versatility. Box graters, as it turns out, can be your new best friend when it comes to making your own breadcrumbs. The last bit of garlic bread from last night's Italian takeout can be grated into fine powder to bulk up tonight's meatloaf. No additional shopping trip required. So here, we're also going to be talking about what we actually use in the kitchen and a different way that we can use it to even enhance our kitchen world. So here, we just talked about cheese graters and how we love to just grate cheese on top of our freshly made pasta, but we can also use the same cheese grater to grate old and yesterday's garlic bread or toasted bread to make bread crumbs. That way we can put that on top of other things of what we want to. So again, a cheese grater can up your breadcrumb game. After that, we have vegetable peelers. And I use my vegetable peeler all the time. But what else can we use the vegetable peeler for? It says that vegetable peelers ensure picture-perfect toast. So try to imagine that we can use a vegetable peeler for toast. No kitchen drawer is complete without a trusty vegetable peeler, or even two. Besides denuding potatoes and carrots, we might not give the humble vegetable peeler much further consideration. Because when we think about it, we're like, oh, what else can I use this for? Nothing much, but just, peeling my vegetables. However, the thin blade actually is a much handier than first meets the eye. How many mornings have you found yourself scraping cold butter across your freshly browned toast or bagel, only to tear up the delicious crust with some cold spread? So I've had that happen before. I've toasted some bread and I'm putting some really thick peanut butter because I keep my peanut butter in the refrigerator. And then when I try to put my peanut butter and spread it on my bread, it doesn't work because my peanut butter is so cold and hard. So then I end up cutting and scraping the bread and it's just not pretty anymore. Instead of wrestling with a thick pad of cold butter, shave the butter with a vegetable peeler into golden curls. So I know I just talked about peanut butter, but if you put butter on top of your toast, you can just peel the butter and then it'll have some butter shavings on top of your bread. How perfect is that? These shavings will then melt onto the hot surface of the toast and spread so much easier, leaving your breakfast unmangled. As far as others' uses for your vegetable peeler, you can also make chocolate curls by running your peeler across the side of the chocolate bar. Impress your friends with a professional-grade dessert plate or float a curl on the surface of a sweet cocktail for that immaculate finishing flourish. So again, you can even do some chocolate shavings on top of, cupcakes or your cake, or even as it says here, on top of some type of a sweet cocktail. So now, that was how we could use vegetable peelers in a different way. What about potato mashers? Potato mashers. This also works for both meat and avocados. Mashed potatoes might just be the reigning king of side dishes. Dishing the dehydrating potato flakes for the real deal makes all the difference when it comes to flavor and texture. And having a trusty masher helps get those spuds to just the right consistency. Of course, you might not have the inclination to tackle mashed potatoes overnight, meaning that your masher might seem like a single-use artifact. So even if you do have this at home, first of all, kudos to you for mashing your own potatoes to make mashed potatoes. But what else could we really use this for? None of us really look at a potato masher and say, I'm gonna use this for something else. However, potatoes aren't the only produce that benefits from a good smooshing. Turn your masher for perfect guacamole, giving yourself the best ratio or smooth and chunky in half the time that you would take with a smaller fork. So lots of us, when we make guacamole, we would use a fork and mash the avocado. But why not just use this big potato masher instead? It would be done so much quicker. You can also use this tool to break up ground meat for even cooking. Semi-thawed hamburger can be plain to deal with when you're trying to get it spread out on a pan. A masher helps break up the chunks and ensure that everything cooks evenly with no raw centered surprises. So I know that when we have our ground up meat and say that we had it in our freezer because we were saving it for later and it just thaws, but it doesn't thaw very well, we can use this masher to make sure that it comes into little pieces and cooks evenly. Next, at number 4, we have pastry bags. Pastry bags. Pastry bags maintain total control no matter what they dispense. So pastry bags are a staple for any serious baker, right? These simple plastic bags provide a huge amount of control when dispensing ingredients, which is why most bakers prefer to use them when using frosting for their desserts. However, you don't have to be a cake boss to find additional uses for pastry bags, either with or without the metal piping tips. On the savory end of the spectrum, you can fill deviled eggs easily with a bag and a tip. So we always use this for icing, right? But instead of icing, when we're making deviled eggs and we smashed up all of our egg yolk and we had to put it back on top of the white part of the egg, what do we usually use? We can use a pastry bag and pipe it on top. You can also pipe pancake batter directly onto a hot griddle to lessen the drippy mess a ladle will leave behind. So I know that we use a ladle to, scoop up our pancake mix and then put it into our pan, but on the way, it may drip, it may fall, we may make a mess, but instead, if we just put the pancake batter into this pastry bag and just squeeze it on top of the pan, perfect, no mess. You can also up your dessert game by using a pastry bag to fill your pastries and cupcakes. Add a metal tip to your pastry bag and poke into your cupcake or donut to add a hidden gem of maybe jam or even cream to make sure that the pastry wins over the taster. And at number 5, we also have whisks. And I know that every household has a whisk. Whisks can make gorgeous sugar threads. Among the most basic of kitchen tools, the simple whisk gets overlooked for anything other than most straightforward of issues of whisking. Of course, you can use it to make whipped cream from scratch and skip the canned whipped topping. You can also mix together the dry ingredients when you're baking, eliminating the need for sifting, which can get a bit messy. But perhaps the absolute best use for a whisk is to make spun sugar. First, you melt the sugar into a liquid in a heavy bottom pot. While it's still hot, dip the whisk into the caramel, then drizzle the golden threads over your desserts. This is a way of creating a cage of threaded effect on your dishes, sending them over the top. Just to make sure, be careful when you're working with the melted sugar because the temperatures can reach over 367 degrees Fahrenheit. So you can make a little bit of stringed sugar on top of the dessert. And I know that this was really popular. The cook that I'm about to talk about didn't use a whisk, but on a popular TV show where there were different types of cooks battling and stuff, they used a pan to make some drizzled sugar threads, but instead you can use a whisk. And the last one for Listomania, we have tongs. Everyone has a set of tongs at home. Tongs can help you get the most out of citrus. In a professional kitchen, a sturdy pair of tongs are the extension of the line of cook's hand. They are used to turn meat on the grill, Move food from the stove to the plate, and then also use to arrange the food to ensure that it looks amazing while maintaining sanitation practices. But tongs aren't just for grabbing. In fact, a whole new world opens up when you change your perspectives on how you even hold a pair of tongs. Juicing citrus is a breeze with tongs. It's so easy. If you place a halved citrus, a cut citrus, between the handles of the tongs and squeeze the ends, then you can get so much more juice than you would just by squeezing it with your hands. You can also use the handles of tongs as an improv bottle opener, using the leverage that the handles give you to pop the top off of the even most stubborn bottles of things. Having the right kitchen tools can make cooking easier, but what's even more important is knowing how to use them creatively. Many items we keep in our drawers and cabinets have hidden potential beyond their traditional uses. Sometimes small kitchen hacks can make a big difference in efficiency. Instead of struggling to squeeze a lemon by hand, using tongs can help extract even more juice with less effort. Thinking beyond a tool's intended purpose can make everyday cooking smoother and more enjoyable. And hopefully you're able to learn some new hacks with our Listomania for today of kitchen items. So now let's take a song break. Here is Hold On by Floor.
You come to life when all the people on the street start to rise, and the sun starts to open up our eyes. We can make this moment stay with us for a while. You can count on it. Way left me. I can count on you.
Welcome back, listeners. You just listened to Hold On by Floor. And again, for our question of the day and text topic, it is, what is the most commonly used item in the kitchen? What is the most commonly used item in the kitchen? 주방에서 가장 많이 사용하는 물건은 무엇인가요? And I do have a text message here from 6495님, 6495님 saying 안녕하세요. 가위인 것 같아요. 음식 할 때도 많이 쓰지만 봉지 뜯거나 뭐 다른 용도 요긴 해요. So yes, I also use the scissors a lot. And I even have two different scissors in my kitchen. One for when I'm actually using it for meat, because sometimes I'm a bit lazy and I cut my meat with my scissors too. Oh, TMI. And then I have another one for other things as well. So I like to keep it a little bit separate. And we have some other messages here on our YouTube live stream. Let's see. Julia Neem saying the most commonly used item in the kitchen is the microwave. And Benny Neem saying, for me, a spatula, wok, and knives. And the reason is for slicing and putting it in a pan to braise or fry is an ideal one for our home. Oh, I don't have a wok at home, but I know that many families use it. And I don't think I just have like the arm strength to, actually use the wok properly, but I think it would be very nice for some fried rice and some other fried vegetables. And for others, go ahead and continue to answer. I do have a message here from Juliet 님 saying 주방 가위는 scissors라고 안 하는 것 같더라고요. 기억이 안 나요. 도와주세요, Kimberly 님. Yes, you can still call them scissors. It doesn't matter. We just call them kitchen scissors. Or if you want to be technical, you can call them kitchen shears. SHEARS. Kitchen shears is what we use also in the kitchen. So again, if you haven't answered it, go ahead and send it in. Text in pound 9050 or shop 9050 and it'll only cost you 101. Or reach us through KakaoTalk. Search BEFM or 부산영어방송 in Korean. Add us and send in your messages for free. And we also do have our smartphone app. Search BEFM or 부산영어방송 in any of the app stores. You can listen to our programs and leave us comments after logging in. And now I'll be right back with our Monday segments. And everyone, it is now time for our Monday segment of Cultural Kaleidoscope, where we introduce interesting, diverse cultures and etiquette from all over the world. And as always, I'm here with Jennifer.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
It's cold Monday.
Oh, it is, right?
Colder, much colder.
But I did see that it's going to get a lot warmer towards the end of the week.
Oh, good. Sounds good.
I'm
but
so
at least
excited.
it's not raining.
Yes. I heard it's going to rain tomorrow, though.
Oh, no.
We had a few showers over the weekend, but today seems like we're in the clear.
Yeah.
As for now.
Did you have a good weekend?
Yes, I did. It was very restful. I just laid in bed, actually.
Oh, nice. So comfortable.
Yes. What about you?
I caught up on some episodes of drama.
There is a drama that I've been watching, and it did come out the next few episodes came out on Friday. But I'm
I
saving
think
it.
we are talking about the same one here.
Does it have a fruit in the title?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I don't know if we're allowed to say titles or not, but yes, that is it with the fruits. But yes, that sounds like very relaxing for you too.
Yeah, very nice.
Before we start though, let me ask you our question of the day and text topic. And it is, what is the most commonly used item in the kitchen for you?
I've been thinking about that. It's actually coffee machine because I drink a lot of coffee.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Do you
I
have
could-
a actual old school coffee pot?
No. The new one.
The one where you put in the cup and then it comes out.
Yeah.
I have that one also. It's just so convenient, isn't it?
Yeah, I cannot go back the old way.
Me neither. My mom still uses the old way and she uses a French press. But I feel like whenever she makes coffee, it just smells so much
good.
better
Yeah,
than the
it
regular
does.
machine does.
But I'm such an impatient person. I can't wait.
Me too. I don't drink coffee, but we got it at a raffle, I believe.
Wow.
So I started drinking coffee because of it, but I was like, no, I can't anymore.
What's the smell of it?
Yes, I do like the smell of it. That's very good. So So yours is a coffee machine.
Yeah.
How nice. How many cups of coffee do you do you think in a day?
On the average, about 3 cups.
3 cups of coffee.
Yeah. I love it. I
Just
can't
coffee or
live
like
without
lattes or
coffee.
just
Black coffee.
Wow. So when I used to be a coffee drinker, I used to be able to drink that much too. And that's when I used to drink like the caramel ones and the lattes and the Americanos like all mixed.
Well, instead of drinking those sweet ones, I have a piece of cake or pastry.
Oh, that sounds so much
together.
better.
Yeah.
Whew, let's get on with today's topic then.
Okay, let's do that. Okay, today's topic is something everyone can relate to. How much things cost around the world. Living cost.
There are many different things when I go travel, and I do see a very big difference in prices.
Oh yeah, huge difference sometimes.
Some places it may be really cheap, but then when I go to a different country, the same thing is super marked up.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Have you ever been shocked by prices while traveling?
Oh, absolutely. So many times. I can recall when I visited Switzerland, I couldn't believe how much a simple meal cost. A basic hamburger and fries could be like over $25. That's like over 35,000원. Yeah.
For a burger and fries?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
At M restaurant.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. For me, I'm really surprised by with different meals. I was watching a TV show and I believe that they were in Iceland. And for them, just one meal was like in Korean money or in American money, I think it was like $40. So within in Korean money, what was that? Like 55,000원 maybe? I can't believe like one little meal would cost that much at like a regular, it's not even a fancy restaurant. So I was shocked. I've never been to Iceland, but I want to go. But because of the food cost, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, because when I lived in Germany for a short time, I thought the living cost was quite high. And then I had moved to UK, and I realized how expensive everything is. And then my last country that I lived before coming to Korea was Norway. The living cost was just so expensive.
Right. So I know that lots of people do say that Korea has high living costs too, but I feel like with like certain things, it's still manageable.
Oh yeah.
Right?
If you don't like go shopping and eat out every day,
Yeah.
I think it's
Totally.
quite manageable. Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing how the same items can have completely different price tags depending on where you are. So shall we dive into it?
Yes. So I see that every year studies rank the most expensive and cheapest cities in the world.
Right. Let's start with overall cost of living. Like cities like Zurich, Singapore, and Hong Kong are constantly at the top of the list for the most expensive place to live. Rent, food, and transportation, all costs are super high, sky high.
Sky high.
Yeah.
And I know that Singapore, I've only been to Singapore out of the 3 that you mentioned, and it is pretty expensive there.
Yeah.
And I have some friends there that are living there right now, and the rent is crazy. What about the other end of the spectrum then?
Well, cities in South Asia, like Karachi in Pakistan or Hanoi in Vietnam, often rank among the most affordable place to live.
Yes. My husband has been to Vietnam quite a few times before, and he says that it's so cheap there.
Yeah.
You can get like a bowl of pho for like, I think $1 or
Yeah,
$2.
and what I really enjoyed in Vietnam was getting a massage. Cheap massage every day.
I would love
It's
to
a
have
luxury.
a massage right now. So that makes me wonder, what's making these huge price differences then?
Well, different factors like wages, demand for housing, and import costs and labor costs all play a role. So let's talk about specific things that are oddly expensive or surprisingly cheap in certain places.
Okay. It's a very good idea. And you know, the first example that comes to mind for me would be fruit.
Oh, 과일.
Yes, I heard that certain fruits like melons and strawberries in Japan are considered luxury items. Is this true?
Oh, yes and no. If you like go to grocery store and like cheap grocery store and buy like strawberries and melon for you to eat, it's not so bad. But there are like special varieties, particularly those grown for gifting. That can sell for hundreds of dollars. 진짜 몇십만 원 하는 것도 있습니다. For example, Yubari king melons or white strawberries are carefully cultivated and often beautifully packaged for high-end markets. So like just one beautiful strawberry may cost so much money.
So there's a trend right now on social media for everyone living in California to go to this one grocery store and to buy this one strawberry. And it's $20 for a strawberry. So they're like, oh, I went to this grocery store. I bought this great strawberry. I'm going to have a taste test. And then they record themselves uploading this video right now.
Yeah.
So when you said strawberry, that's the first thing that came into mind.
So 인증샷. They want to share this experience, right?
But on the other hand, also in Japan, so if melons and these white strawberries are very expensive, I know that fresh seafood can be very affordable compared to Western countries then.
Oh, exactly. So there are some expensive ones and some surprisingly cheap ones. So another example is coffee. In places like Norway and Denmark, coffee is really expensive. But in countries like Brazil and Colombia, where coffee is grown, it's much cheaper.
You know, that makes a lot of sense because with what we just said about Japan also, it's surrounded by water. So of course they're going to have a lot of seafood. So it could be cheaper there compared to America if we're going to get it like, I don't know, in the middle of Louisiana where we're landlocked. So it could make sense, especially with the coffee also because since they cultivate it and they grow it, it may be cheaper there.
Yeah.
What about other everyday items like water?
Oh, okay. In some European countries, bottled water can cost more than beer or soda. Meanwhile, in places like India, bottled water is generally affordable, but many people still rely on it for safety reasons. Yeah. So one thing that I remember is that was memorable for me is when I went to Europe, I had to pay for the toilet, to use the public toilet. You know, you have to pay like €1 or €2 for using the toilet. Not every country. Like some cities in Germany, France, and like in Swiss, you have to pay for using the public toilet. It's like cleaning cost and
I feel like there's something like this in Asia also, but I can't remember where. But I feel like I did go somewhere and I had to pay to go to the bathroom also. I don't know if it was because it was a public area or I think it was just the culture. Because when I uploaded it onto social media, some of my followers were like, oh, yeah, it's a culture thing. I was like, oh, okay. But I forget where it was.
It could be. Yeah.
Before we move on, though, let us take a quick song break. Here is Girlfriend by Charlie Puth.
Yeah. Tired of this conversation. We didn't come all this way to touch a little, kiss a little, all night long. You wanna hear me say it? I know I kept you waiting just a little, all night long. Can't stop till you're lying right here next to me. I should stop, but I think I'll do it anyway. Baby, would you ever want to be my girlfriend? I don't wanna play no games. This is more than just a phase. Baby, would you ever want to be my girlfriend? If you want it, let me know. We can make this for sure. Don't we look perfect, baby? Let's take this further, baby. Just a little, all night long. If I was your boyfriend, I'd be giving you all my time. Now just a little, all night long. Can't stop till you're lying right here next to me. I should stop, but I think I'll do it anyway. Baby, would you ever want to be my girlfriend? I don't wanna play no games. This is more than just a phase. Baby, would you ever want to be my girlfriend? If you want it, let me know. We can make this for sure. Hold on, you're making me. No, baby, no. Hold on, you're making me. Oh, no, baby, no. Baby, no. Hold on, you're making me. No, baby, no. anyway. I had to do it anyway. I had to do it anyway. I had to do it anyway. Why you ever wanna be my girlfriend? I don't wanna play no games. This is more than just a phase. Why you ever wanna be my girlfriend? If you want it, let me know. We can make this something sure. You're making me. You're making me. Oh, no, baby, like.
And welcome back, listeners. You're listening to Midday Mate, and right now we're in the middle of our Cultural Kaleidoscope segment with Jennifer, and we were talking about the cost of living around the world. And we just talked about the different prices for bottled water, and now let's get into something else where rent is very important for cost of living, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And housing.
Oh, yeah, housing. Cities like New York, London, and Tokyo have notoriously high rent prices. It's common for people to spend half of their salary or more just on housing.
That's crazy. And then there are places where buying a house is nearly impossible for the average worker, like Hong Kong.
Oh, Hong Kong, yeah.
Where property prices are some of the highest in the world.
Oh, yeah. I have a friend from Hong Kong, and when she came to Busan, she was saying, oh, it's so cheap here. The house prices are.
Well, even Busan compared to Seoul right now,
Yeah,
it's very
exactly.
different.
Yeah. So, but on the flip side, there are countries where rent is surprisingly low. Some parts of Eastern Europe and Latin America offer affordable housing compared to major global cities.
It really shows how the real estate market plays a big role in a country's economy and lifestyle. And now, so speaking of housing, rental prices can vary drastically country to country.
Oh, sure, yeah.
In some places, people pay high monthly rent, while in others, there is a unique system for renting homes.
Right. In Korea, there's rental model called 전세. 전세, I think, is only available in Korea, which is quite different from the typical rent. Instead of paying monthly, tenants give the landlord a large lump sum deposit and live rent-free for a set period, usually for like 2 years.
Yes, I remember when I first came to Korea, I was like, what is this 전세 idea? I did not understand. It's like you either buy it or you rent it in America, but then to have 전세 here, I was like very confused.
Yeah, in the States, you usually pay like monthly rent, or you buy the house, get a mortgage loan and buy a house, right?
But with 전세, we get the money back, right?
Oh, yes, absolutely, absolutely. You get it like if the house is not damaged, you get 100% of what you paid. Yeah. So when the contract ends, the tenant gets the full deposit back. The landlord benefits by using the money for investments or interest. In the meanwhile, this system is almost exclusive to Korea. 한국에만 있는 것 같아요. 다른 나라 못 들어본 것 같아요. So you won't find it in most other countries.
So instead of paying rent every month, you're basically just lending money to the landlord saying, hey, here's X amount of money. And I'm going to live here for 2 years. But when I leave after 2 years, you give me all that money back.
Yeah.
So that they have that money for some other reason first. And then by the time you leave, they should have it back to give it to you.
Exactly. So, but since property prices have risen so much in some places, the 전세 system is becoming harder to afford. And monthly rent is becoming more common.
I see. So now let's talk about something important, the wealth gap. Even within expensive cities, the gap between the rich and the poor is often very large.
Oh, yeah. Very large. In places like Dubai, you see extremely luxury sports cars, high-end shopping malls, and extravagant lifestyles. But there's also a population of workers living on much lower salaries.
Right. And it's the same, I feel like, in the U.S., like major cities like San Francisco. They have a stark contrast between like the tech millionaires that are there, but then there's also people struggling to afford housing also.
There's a big gap between the rich and poor. the cost of living isn't just about location, it's also about income inequality.
Yes.
Another interesting thing to consider is how different cultures view spending and saving money. So that I find that really interesting.
It's a great point because in some cultures, like in parts of Asia, saving money is seen as a virtue and then people tend to get a bit more frugal.
Yeah, but in other places like in the US or parts of Europe, spending on experiences like 체험, 경험, like travel and dining is often prioritized.
Yes, I think that's the mindset I also had when I was younger.
Oh, yeah.
And then there are also other cultures where showing wealth is important. In places like Russia or parts of the Middle East, displaying luxury brands and expensive cars can also be your status symbol.
Yeah, I guess we have the same tendency here as well. It's fascinating how economic habits are shaped by cultures and traditions.
Yes, very much so. I feel like within that, also with the luxury brands and everything, I feel like it's kind of dying down in Korea. I don't know. What do you think?
Are you into luxury brands?
I mean, I can't afford them, Jennifer.
Who says no to it?
I mean, if I was gifted one, I would, very graciously accept it. But would I spend my own money to buy a purse for that price? I don't think so.
So you won't go like extra mile to
Definitely not.
buy
I don't
it.
think so. I'd rather have functionality than that. Also, with just thinking about like the prices of things of that sort, I'm just like, I can spend that money to do so many other things.
Yeah, also, our values change as we get older, right? And also, like, I don't like paying in installments anymore. I used to pay in installments. 할부를 많이 했던 것 같아요, 어렸을 때. But as I get older and my values change.
Right.
And I don't like that pressure of like paying big lump of money.
So my thing was as I was growing up, my parents would always tell me, don't buy things that you don't have money for. So I never did 할부. And coming to Korea, I didn't even know how to do 할부. Like every time I would check out, like 할부 해드릴까요? I was like, 아니요.
But in the States, not many people ask you like if you want 할부, like installments.
You could though.
You could, but
for big items.
I don't remember like being asked if I wanted to pay in installments.
Right. I think you have to be the first one to say it first.
Yeah. And the 할부 in Korea is very tempting because it's normally like interest free.
Right.
And you can pay in like 12 months.
With different credit cards, with different types of perks. There's so many different things
But
in
the thing
Korea to
is,
consider.
it all adds up.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
and
still money.
becomes a big sum of money. Yeah. People.
Wow, that was very interesting to talk about the cost of living and things of that sort all around the world. It's very eye-opening here.
Oh, I'm glad you find it interesting.
Yes, the prices and spending habits can also be very different depending on where you are.
Yeah, whether it's expensive fruit in Japan, cheap rent in some parts of the world, all the cultural importances, saving money, it's amazing to see these differences. We
Yes.
all have different values, different cultures. We cannot say one is better than the other,
Right.
but just different.
Well, Jennifer, thank you so much for today, and I will see you next week.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a good
Bye.
day.
Everyone, that's the end of our first hour, and I'll be back at 1 p.m. after this song. Here is Freedom by Wham.
Every day I hear a different story. People saying that you're no good for me. Saw your lover with another and she's making a fool of you. Oh,
문구점 김 사장님도 우리 부산의 경제를 움직이는 사람들 우리 동네 작은 가게로 향하는 발걸음이 우리 부산의 경제를 키워가는 한 걸음입니다. 부산 방송광고 발전 협의회
The time is now 1 o'clock.
I guess you never know someone you think you know. Can't see the knife when you're too close, too close.
Trust cuts deeper than lies, even as the days go by. Those remain beneath my skin, my skin.
I wipe the dirt off your name with the shirt off my back.
I thought that you'd do the same, but you didn't do that. Said I'm the one who's wanted for all the fires you started. You knew the house was burning down. I had to get out. You led your saints and sinners and fed them lies for dinner. You knew the house was burning down, and look at you now.
And look at you now.
Oh, was it all a game? Look what all I became. I gave you everything I had.
You had every chance to make amends. That you got drunk on bitterness. And you still claim that you didn't sit inside. That you said I'm the one who's wanted for all the fires you started. You knew the house was burning down. I had to get out. You led your saints and sinners and fed them lies for dinner. You knew the house was burning down, and look at you now. You prayed for me, you were praying for my downfall. You were digging a grave for me, we were sharing the same four walls. Used to tell me you'd pray for me, you were praying for my downfall. You were digging a grave for me, we were sharing the same four walls. And you said I'm the one who's wanted for all the fires you started. You knew the house was burning down. I had to get out. You led your saints and sinners and fed them lies for dinner. You knew the house was burning down. You used to tell me you prayed for me, you were praying for my downfall. You were digging a grave for me, we were sharing the same four walls. Used to tell me you prayed for me, you were praying for my downfall. You were digging a grave for me, we were sharing the same four walls. And you.
And welcome back, mates. You just heard Burning Down by Alex Warren and Joe Jonas. On Burning Down, Alex Warren serves up a bracing mix of betrayal, disillusionment, and the burning need to escape something toxic before it consumes you whole. Throughout the track, Warren uses the image of a burning house as a metaphor, a fiery symbol for a relationship or environment that's gone so irreversibly wrong that there's only one thing left to do. Watch it burn and get out while you still can. We are live in the studio in Busan this Monday afternoon. Welcome to Midday Mate, everyone. You're listening to us on BEFM 90.5 in Busan and 103.3 FM in the Gijang, Cheongwan, and Noksan areas. And I'm your host, Kimberly. And now it is time for hour number 2. We're going to start this hour with today's quotes, where we introduce meaningful quotes to motivate you each and every day, followed by bite-sized banter, where Andrew and I have a daily fun conversation with the theme. And then up next will be Don't Make a Scene, where we introduce useful English expressions after listening to a short clip. And then we'll wrap it all up with our segment titled Change Up, where we introduce one sentence by changing it into various sentences with the same meaning. And I have been checking your messages throughout the show, and I have some answers that I want to share with us for our question of the day and text topic. For those who are now joining, the question of the day and text topic is, what is the most commonly used item in the kitchen? What is the most commonly used item in the kitchen? 주방에서 가장 많이 사용하는 물건은 무엇인가요? And I have a cacao message here from 최유숙님. Hello, saying hello, Midday Mate. I use big bowls whenever I wash vegetables and rice, and I need them for 나물무침. Yes, we can never have enough big bowls in our house, right? They do a lot of things for us when we are cooking Korean food. Also, Chae Sung-nim said a vegetable drainer and garlic grinder are very useful if you don't have to, so that you don't have to pound garlic in a mortar. And yes, that is very good. I also have a garlic grinder, and there are many different ways that I chop up garlic. But these days, I've just been getting my garlic ground up for me at the market because they have this great old big machine there. So I just had them grind up half of my garlic, and then the half of the other garlic, I just have them whole. So yes, thank you for your message, Chae Sung-nim. And we also have another message here from 만학도 영어님 saying 안녕하세요. 집게 뒷부분을 둥근 부분으로 오이 속을 파내니 깔끔하게 잘 제거되더라고요. Oh, that's very smart. I would have never imagined. So what 만학도 영어님 said is, I use the rounded end of the tongs to scoop out the inside of the cucumber, and it works really well. Wow. Now I'm going to try that the next time, because sometimes when we want cucumbers in our salad, if we have the inside of the cucumber in our salad, then it'll get really wet, right? So then if we scrape out the inside of the cucumber, it could be a bit of a drier salad. Very nice, 만학도 영어님. Thank you. And I have another message here from Juliet Neem saying, with a peeler, I can peel eggplant and grill the piece and roll it with other ingredients like smoked chicken and vegetables. That's the way I can make a rolled up salad with eggplant. So instead of having to cut the eggplant into little thin slices, which would be very difficult if you're not very skilled with a knife, and even if you are skilled with a knife, I feel like it would still be a bit difficult. But with a peeler, we can just peel the eggplant. How much smarter. And with that, it reminds me, this isn't for cooking, but I do use a peeler and cucumber. So I'm adding what 만학도 영어님 said and what Julia-님 said, but I peel the cucumber into large slices, and then I put it on my face for a face mask. And it's the perfect thing. I don't have to cut up the cucumber. I don't have to have little pieces of cucumber on my face and that it falls off. But instead, use a slicer, have a long piece, and put it over your skin. It's the perfect hack. For others, go ahead and send in your answers. Text in pound 9050 or shop 9050, and it'll only cost you 100 won. Or you can also reach us through Kakao Talk. Search BEFM or 부산영어방송 in Korean. Add us as a friend and send in your messages for free. We also have our smartphone app. Another way for you to contact us is to search BEFM or 부산영어방송 in any of the app stores. You can listen to our programs and leave us comments after logging in. And now I'll be right back with today's quote after the song. Here is Lose a You by Christopher.
This might be the end of me. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. It's like I'm running out of time. Ain't gonna fix this, ain't gonna make it alright now. And I've tried everything to make the pain disappear, and now we're running up on about it. You've been high. And I keep praying, but it feels a lot like saying goodbye. It's not easy to say to somebody like you, but I'll try. But baby, you never know what it feels like to lose a you. I guess that makes you the lucky one, the lucky one. Now all I want is for you to feel bad for me, 'cause it's way worse to lose you than to lose me. Oh my Lord, I'm glad you don't feel the way I feel. I guess that makes you the lucky one, the lucky one. Now all I want is for you to feel bad for me, 'cause it's way worse to lose you than to lose me.
phone fast. How can I be funny when you're not here to laugh? I just cry every time I think about that moment we agreed on goodbye. It's not easy to say to somebody like you, but I try. But baby, you never know what it feels like to lose you. I guess that makes you the lucky one, the lucky one. Now all I want is for you to feel bad for me, 'cause it's way worse to lose you than to lose me. Oh my love, I'm glad you don't feel the way I feel. I guess that makes you the lucky one, the lucky one. Now all I want is for you to feel bad for me, 'cause it's way worse to lose you. Goodbye. It's not easy to say to somebody like you, but I try. But baby, you never know what it feels like to lose you. I guess that makes you the lucky one, the lucky one. Now all I want is for you to feel bad for me, 'cause it's way worse to lose you than to lose me. Oh my love, I'm glad you don't feel the way I feel. I guess that makes you the lucky one, the lucky one. Now all I want is for you to feel bad for me, 'cause it's way worse to lose you than to lose me.
And you just listened to Lose You by Christopher. And now it is time for today's quote, where we introduce meaningful quotes to motivate you each and every day. And here is today's quote. Enjoy the little things. For one day, you may look back and realize they were the big things. Again, enjoy the little things. For one day, you may look back and realize they were the big things. 작은 것을 즐기세요. 언젠가 뒤돌아봤을 때 그것이 큰 것임을 깨달을지도 모릅니다. Life is full of big moments and milestones that we often focus on and strive towards. We set goals, work hard, and celebrate our achievements. But in the midst of chasing after these big things, we often overlook the little moments that make life truly special. It is important to remember that it is not always the grand gestures or major accomplishments that bring us the most joy and fulfillment. Sometimes it is the small, everyday moments that can have the biggest impact on our lives. When we take time to appreciate the little things in life, we are able to find joy and contentment in the present moment. Whether it is a beautiful sunrise, a warm cup of coffee, a kind gesture from a stranger, or even a quiet moment spent with loved ones, these small moments can bring us a sense of peace and happiness that is often overlooked in our fast-paced, goal-oriented society. As we go through life, it is important to remember that the little things are what makes life worth living. They are the moments that we look back on with fondness and nostalgia, realizing that they were the big things all along. It is easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of everyday life, but taking the time to slow down and appreciate the small moments can help us to find meaning and purpose in our lives. So take a moment to stop and smell the roses, to savor the taste of your favorite meal, or to listen to the sound of laughter and even feel the warmth of the sun on your face. These are the moments that make life beautiful and worth living. By enjoying the little things, we can find happiness and fulfillment in the present moment and create lasting memories that we'll cherish for years to come. Remember, the little things are the big things in life. So sometimes we get so caught up in chasing big dreams and major accomplishments that we forget to appreciate the everyday moments that shape our lives. But when we look back, it's often the simple things. The shared meals with family, the laughter with your friends, or the quiet walks by the beach because we live in Busan that leave the biggest impact in our lives. Personally, I found that some of my most cherished memories aren't tied to some big achievement, but rather to the small, fleeting moments that made ordinary days feel so special. That's why I love this quote. It reminds us to slow down and appreciate the present. Whether it's enjoying a peaceful morning with a cup of coffee or hearing the comforting voice of a loved one over the phone, these are the moments that truly matter. So as we go about our busy lives, let's make a habit of recognizing the beauty in the little things. Because one day, we might look back and realize that they were actually big things all along. And again, for our quote, it is, enjoy the little things, for one day you may look back and realize they were the big things. 작은 것을 즐기세요. 언젠가 뒤돌아봤을 때 그것이 큰 것임을 깨달을지도 모릅니다. And that was today's quote. So now let's take a quick song break. Here is Relapse by Warren Ziders.
Maybe we should relapse, drink us 1 or 2 or 3 jigs, go back. Baby, I ain't talking rehab, I'm talking when we had, when you were mine. Love that look in your eye, I'm undressing you in my head, my bed. Ain't had no one on your side yet, I'd wreck. Midnight in the morning with you, ain't nobody gets you like I do. So maybe we should call each other, blame it on another, it's late. Girl, I wanna, should we make another mistake? On the covers, I say I'm recovered. I chase that in a heartbeat just to feel your body next to me tonight. That's the ecstasy I like. So maybe we should relapse, drink us 1 or 2 or 3 jigs, go back. Baby, I ain't talking rehab, I'm talking when we had, when you were mine. Love that look in your eye, I'm undressing you in my head, my bed. Ain't had no one on your side yet, I'd wreck. Midnight in the morning with you, ain't nobody gets you like I do. So maybe we can relapse. Whoa. Maybe we can relapse. Whoa. I need you next to me tonight. That's the ecstasy I like. Maybe we should relapse, drink us 1 or 2 or 3 jigs, go back. Baby, I ain't talking rehab, I'm talking when we had, when you were mine. Love that look in your eye, I'm undressing you in my head, my bed. Ain't had no one on your side yet, I'd wreck. Midnight in the morning with you, ain't nobody gets you like I do. So maybe we should relapse. Whoa.
And welcome back, listeners. You're listening to Midday Mate, and now it is time for Bite-Sized Banter with Andrew. Hello.
Happy Monday.
Hello, happy
But it's not just
Monday.
any Monday.
Yes?
It's St. Patty's Day.
Oh, it is St.
Yeah.
Patrick's Day
So
today.
this is a fantastic one for me because for our listeners who tuned in on Friday, it was my youngest son's birthday. Mm-hmm. And now it's St. Patty's Day. So it's
Ooh.
like it booked end the weekend. It was fantastic.
Did you do anything for St. Patrick's Day over the weekend?
I had maybe a couple of pints of the G beer. But I might meet up with some friends this evening, go to a local place and just hear some music and stuff like that. But
Fun.
yeah.
I remember I used to always make sure that I wore green, but I would hide the green.
Ooh.
Just so that people would try to come and pinch me, but I'm like, no, it's right here. I would always have like a little scrunchie or hair thing, or I would hide it, or I would have like a sticker and they'd be like, that doesn't count. But yes, in American culture, on St. Patrick's Day, you have to wear green or else you get pinched. The reason why, I'm not quite sure, but green has a lot to do with St. Patrick's Day.
I used to just wear a shirt that said, "Kiss me, I'm Irish."
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
Are you Irish?
My last name's Murphy.
Oh.
The most common name in Ireland. But I will have to say, maybe people might call me a plastic patty because
what's that?
it's like a fake Irish.
I see.
Because I'm not like my family's not from. I'm sure at one point they came across the ocean.
Right.
But I don't know exactly.
Many years ago.
Many moons ago. Many St. Patty's Days ago.
So happy St. Patrick's Day,
Yes, you
everyone. I
too.
hope you're wearing green so you don't get pinched. And what is our question for today?
All right, so this one, I don't want to say it's kind of a deep thing, but I think this is one of those questions that, comes up. It's not like the 30,000-foot question where like, oh, we're getting so deep into it. But maybe you have these questions that come up with your friends, you're having coffee or a few drinks. And it is, what would you ask if you could have a 30-minute conversation with your future self? Now, for future self, let's kind of go maybe say 10 years down the road.
So 10 years from now, my future self.
Yeah. I didn't think about that when I made the question. I was like, future could be like tomorrow. Like,
10 years. That
Yeah.
would be years old.
Oh, listen to this one. Yeah, so just, if you could have a conversation, a 30-minute conversation with your future self, and this could be, you could choose whenever time this is, if it's 10, 20, 30 years down the road, what kind of questions would you ask?
So, listeners, 미래의 나와 30분 동안 이야기를 할 수 있다면 물어보고 싶은 것은 무엇인가요? Lots of questions, like what's the winning lottery number?
Oh, you're going down that road.
I don't want to get too sentimental.
Yeah.
But future Kimberly wouldn't even know that because she doesn't even do the lottery.
No, and I wouldn't be able to, if someone asked me, I wouldn't be able to remember either.
Exactly.
There's a comedian who talks about, if I took like went back in time, he's like, I don't think I'd be able to prove that I was actually from the future. And it's like, if someone's like, yeah, we have cars. Well, how do they work? Yeah, I don't know. Or like,
They go.
Like, there's phones, but like you can walk around with them and talk to people all over the world. Really? How do you make those work? Something in the sky?
Right.
No one knows.
I would also ask myself, which stock should I invest in? And then future Kimberly's like, you know me better than that. I don't know anything about stocks.
Yeah, so nothing's helping.
Yes.
Nothing's helping.
But let me think of an actual answer while you go first then.
Yeah, I think, if I went 10 years down the road, so that would put me at 53.
Ooh.
Right? So I'd be well into my 50s at that point. Yeah.
Told everyone your
I've
age.
said it plenty of times on the air, so I don't really care. But it's, I think I'd want to make sure, like, I'd ask questions, were there any things that came up with the kids that you think I could make easier? Or like now that you have more experience, like do you have any advice for dealing with, say kids going through puberty or something like that, or going to high school or dealing with this? Maybe that be on that side of it, or like advice to get through some difficult times that are coming up, because but again, I sometimes I don't take myself seriously. So maybe if I'm asking myself these questions, I don't know how much stock I'll put into the advice. But things like that, I don't know. I think I would try to keep it simple and not so, heavy or in depth. But it would probably maybe involve questions about family, or maybe if I should invest in any property and. Haeundae or maybe Gwangan area. I don't know. Yeah.
For me, I'm not quite sure. Again, I would really want future Kimberly to know the lottery numbers, but she's definitely not going to know. I would ask, what are some ways that I can continually to be happy?
Sure.
And not get burned out by whatever type of work I'm doing.
Yeah, I think that's, like personal wellness is a big thing. And I'm sure there might be like 10 years down the road, I don't want to say some new fad, but there might have been some kind of breakthrough.
Right.
Or maybe they might say, hey, don't sweat that. there'll be something coming in the future that will help you. Maybe they can't tell you the inside details, like a lot of inside baseball kind of talk, but I don't know, something like that. Yeah, maybe.
I think that would be really good for me too, just so that I know and that I don't worry about what's going to happen in the future too, so that I could just, take life easily and be happy every day also.
Yeah, or like if you, because I think, I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason.
Right.
Right? But, if there was if you were going to have a heart attack because you were eating, fast food 6 times a week.
Right.
Not saying fast food causes heart attacks, but I'm just, using an example. You might say, is there anything I could change going forward with my health?
True.
Not to make you worried, like you said, because then that's just going to cause more anxiety and stress.
Exactly.
Which I definitely, if something's bad's going to happen, maybe I don't want to know about it because I still want to live life while I'm living it, not worrying about if it's tomorrow or next week.
Right.
So, yeah, maybe something like that.
Also, I would ask myself, give me a date from right now in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
A date that I will be looking forward to. Like on this date, something big happens.
Oh, I couldn't do that.
Really?
No.
I would love that.
No, because I'd have a countdown on my wall.
Exactly,
It'd be
that's what I would do.
748 days, 747 days. People are like, what is this number? I'm like, just some kind of game. It's the numbers I run every week.
I would love it because it's something that I can look forward to in the mundane life of work every day.
But what if it's too far in the future?
Then I would tell future Kimberly to tell me one date per year. One thing
You're
to look
getting greedy
forward
now.
to.
I love it.
Well, it's a 30-minute conversation.
Yeah, or should I stay away from certain foods now that really might have effect on me later
on?
When we're talking about certain dyes in foods or things like
true.
that, or GMO things or whatever, maybe that we don't know about, So I don't know. It would get
smart.
interesting.
That's very smart of you.
Well, hey, that's not the first time I've ever heard that.
So listeners, what would you ask if you could have a 30-minute conversation with your future self 10 years from now or maybe even 20 years from now? You can choose the time span. Just let us know what you would want to ask them or maybe just talk about.
Yeah.
Well, Andrew, thank you so much for today, and I will see you tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be back to ask you some more questions.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And that was our bite-sized banter segment today with Andrew. And again, our topic was, what would you ask if you could have a 30-minute conversation with your future self? So we did say a bunch of little silly questions also, but we did get really into the nitty-gritty of serious conversations also. I have a few answers here from our listeners. So Benny Neem says, I want to talk to my future self and ask if you are getting ready to date someone or marry someone. Oh, yes, that would also be a question for me also if I was still single. I would definitely want to know who I get married to. And then Ponim, hello Ponim, welcome to Midday Mate. I'm so glad to see you. Ponim says, I want to ask my future self how I am living and from what I make a living off of. That's also very true because right now I am in radio and education, but maybe 10 years from now I'm making money and doing things that are totally different. Who knows? That would be also very interesting to know too. And 만학도 영어님 saying 저는 미래에 저에게 아들들이 모두 결혼을 했는지 물어보고 싶어요. Yes, I think marriage is a very big question that we want to ask about. So 만학도 영어님 was saying that 만학도 영어님 wants to ask future self that if all the sons are actually married yet. That would be nice. I would ask, are they married and who are they married to and where do they live? Actually, I would ask so many other more questions. But 만학도 영어님, you're very wise to just ask one. And that was our bite-sized banter segment. Again, if you haven't answered and you want to go ahead and chime in on the conversation, go ahead. I will love to listen and read your comments and answers during the song break. And with that, let's take our song break now. Here is Two Hands by Tate McRae.
I want you to dance. Don't ever let me go. I want you to dance. Two hands on me. You don't need to tell me you love me 17 times in a day. I don't need to hear I'm number one and everybody's second place. You don't gotta talk your last girl. saying she don't compare to me. Baby, I'm saying you don't know me well. It's just not that I need, 'cause they just words that don't mean much. Need a little less talk and a lot more touch. I just want you to hands on me at all times, baby. If you let go, better put 'em right back fast. Want you to hands on me like my life needs saving. Let 'em know. Can you do it like that? Yeah. You ain't gonna win with the jewelry. Don't need the cute names. We don't gotta live at our hotels. We can do it in my room all day. And I know you can spoil me plenty more, but I don't really trust that anymore. And I already got the bag for free. But if you bought it, then that's sweet. Still, like, just things that don't mean much. Turn a real good thing. Turn a real. I just want you to hands on me at all times, baby. If you let go, better put it like that. Want you to hands on me like my life needs saving. Let 'em know. Can you do it like that? Yeah. 'Cause I want 'em all to say you look good on top of me at this time and not of me. I wanna take just the two hands on me like my life needs saving. Let 'em know. Can you do it like that? Yeah. I want you to dance. Don't ever let me go. I want you to dance. I want you to dance. Don't ever let me go. I want you to dance. I just want you to hands on me at all times, baby. If you let go, better put 'em right back fast. Want you to hands on me like my life needs saving. Let 'em know. Can you do it like that? Yeah. 'Cause I want 'em all to see you look good on top of me at this time and not of me. I want nothing, just the two hands on me like my life needs saving. Let 'em know. Can you do it like that? Yeah. All right.
And that was Two Hands by Tate McRae. And now it is time for Don't Make a Scene. And today, since it is Monday, we have a new movie that we're going to get into. And since last week we were done with Wicked, and now what movie are we talking about? If you were here earlier in the show, I did mention that we're going to look at a scene from Harry Potter. Harry Potter. And this is our first movie of Harry Potter, which was Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone back in 2001, I believe. Wow. Super long time ago. That's 24 years ago. And to imagine how long it has been. And now, in this scene, we see students learning one of their first spells at their school of Hogwarts. A spell, again, is a group of words used as a magical charm or an incantation, right? So they use their wands to cast their spells. And this is when Professor Flitwick explains how to make things levitate, which means to fly. And with that, let's take a quick listen to our clip from the movie Harry Potter.
One of the wizard's most rudimentary skills is levitation, or the ability to make objects fly. Do you all have your feathers? Good. Now, don't forget the nice wrist movement we've been practicing. The swish and flick. Everyone? The swish and flick. Good. Oh, and enunciate. Wingardium Leviosa. Off you go then.
And that was our little scene from and clip from Harry Potter. And I know we didn't choose one that had like the main characters of Harry and, you know, Hermione and everyone, but this was a scene when we are looking at what Professor Flitwick is saying. So again, this is from Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and we're Professor Flitwick's lesson on levitation. He describes levitation as a rudimentary skill, meaning it's one of the most basic abilities every wizard should master. While it may seem simple, it is essential for an advanced magic. So rudimentary skill. It's a very long word, but have you heard of this vocabulary word before? Rudimentary. Rudimentary. It means basic or fundamental, meaning we really, really need it. It's something that's needed for next steps. And skill, of course, as most of you will know, it is referring to the ability or expertise in something. So together, the phrase refers to something simple but necessary to build upon. A rudimentary skill. So it's a skill, something that you have in order to build upon it so you can get bigger and bigger skills later on. But why do we relate to this phrase? Everyone starts with the basics before mastering something. It highlights the importance of foundational knowledge, and it can be used to describe any skill from cooking to even playing an instrument. So when can we use this little phrase of rudimentary skill? In learning, you can say, before you write your essays, you need a rudimentary skill in grammar. Right? We can't just start writing 5-paragraph essays without knowing any grammar. Then all of our sentence structures and everything that we're writing won't make any sense. So what is a rudimentary skill? The basic skill that we need before we go on to writing 5-paragraph essays. We need to learn grammar. And what is another rudimentary skill that we may need? Yes, vocabulary. And those are the two that will help us with our writing later on. So it is a rudimentary skill to have in grammar and in vocab in order to write essays later on. So it's just what is a prerequisite that we need in order to grow for better growth later? Or in sports. Do you know how to play basketball? Basketball is when we dribble down the court and then we shoot the basket into the ball, right? But what would be a rudimentary skill for basketball? Dribbling is a rudimentary skill in basketball. That's when we're bouncing the ball up and down and walking or running at the same time. So that's dribbling. Without that essential information and knowledge of dribbling, of our rudimentary skill, we wouldn't even know how to play basketball. We would just hold the ball and run with it, and then we would be called for a penalty because that's called, what's it called? It's another penalty for us. We're not supposed to be walking with the ball. We have to dribble. So dribbling is a rudimentary skill in basketball. And I love how everyone's here in our YouTube chat already talking it, saying that it is foundation knowledge. Yes, foundation knowledge is what this is also known as, rudimentary skill. The basic skills that we need in order to do something. So in work, also, using spreadsheets is a rudimentary skill for office jobs. So if you didn't know how to use a spreadsheet for your documents and things of that sort, then we wouldn't know how to do work, right? In order to get a job on our resumes, we usually write that we are excellent and excel in all of these different types of things on documents. So documents or PowerPoint or even spreadsheets that we all need to know. It is a rudimentary skill. So now let's listen to the sentence one more time.
One of the wizard's most rudimentary skills is levitation.
So here, Professor Flitwick is saying one of the rudimentary skills for wizards is levitation. So one of the basic skills that you need as a wizard is to make things float and fly up in the air. So rudimentary skills. So even though rudimentary sounds really fancy as a word itself, it just really means basic. Every great achievement starts with mastering rudimentary skills. So before trying advanced magic or anything else, focus on the basics and your rudimentary skills. So go ahead and try to use that in your everyday speaking and see how it can turn out in your conversations. And with that, let's take a song break. Here is Shallow Water by Elderbrook.
Is it what you wanted? Did you even try? And I can see you falling, and it's the last time that I turn a blind eye. Yeah. And I can see you're fading like a memory.
And welcome back, listeners. You just listened to Shallow Water by Elderbrook. And now it's time for Change Up, where we introduce one sentence by changing it into various sentences with the same meaning. And today's question for Change Up that we'll be focusing on is, what do you usually eat for lunch? What do you usually eat for lunch? So the first way that we're going to change it is, what do you typically have for lunch? What do you typically have for lunch? So we changed usually eat to typically have, making the sentence slightly more formal and smooth. And here, have sounds more natural and conversational than the word actually eat, so which can feel a bit more direct. So, what do you typically have for lunch? So we changed usually eat into typically have. Another way to change it is, what do you often enjoy for lunch? What do you often enjoy for lunch? We changed usually eat into often enjoy, adding a sense of preference or pleasure. So this version makes the question feel more engaging and less factual, as it implies the person likes their lunch choices. So what do you often enjoy for lunch? What is it something that you like to eat is what it's asking. What do you often enjoy? Instead of just saying eat or have, we say, what do you often enjoy? So now the next way to change our original sentence is, what's on your lunch menu most days? What's on your lunch menu most days? We can rephrase it and to what's on your lunch menu, making it more playful and restaurant-like, right? So most days replaces our adverb of usually, keeping the meaning but making it sound a bit more casual. So what's on your lunch menu most days? I don't think this is something that we often say verbally to others and colloquially, but I think when we're typing it to friends, that'd be fine too. What's on your lunch menu most days? Or the next one is, what are your usual lunch options? What are your usual lunch options? I changed here, do you eat, into are your usual lunch options, making the question broader and inviting a list of wide and different choices. This version sounds more open-ended and less like a yes or no question. So, what are your usual lunch options? Then I can answer, I like to have, kimchi-jjigae, and I like to eat some sundubu and some 돈가스. So, what are your usual lunch options? So now, the last one that we have here is, what's your go-to meal for lunch? What's your go-to meal for lunch? We changed do you eat into go-to meal, which adds a sense of a habit and preference. Go-to meal, which we also say when we go to 노래방, we say, what's your go-to song, right? But here for lunch, we're saying, what's your go-to meal? A go-to meal feels friendly and conversational, making the question sound more natural in casual speech. And another one that I would like to say is, what do you normally eat for lunch? What do you normally eat for lunch? This is the way that I changed it. We changed here usually to normally, and both words mean the same thing, but normally can sound slightly more neutral and less repetitive if usually has become often used in our conversation. So if you always say usually this, usually that, try to change it and make it into normally. The tone and the feeling of this question also, the change is a bit subtle, but normally here may feel a bit softer and more conversational, while usually might sound a little more structured. However, both are very common in regular speech. So we can say, what do you normally eat for lunch? And I say, I normally eat a sandwich and some chips for lunch, and that's all. So again, there are many ways to say a sentence, so if you want some variety, you can always check us out at this segment of Change Up. So here, a little recap today. So we had our original question of, what do you usually eat for lunch? And we changed it to a bunch of questions. I won't read them again because it may get boring for you. But again, for Change Up, you can always check out the different ways that we change a sentence. And with that, let's take a song break. Here is Torn Between Two Lovers by Mary McGregor.
There are times much it's gonna hurt. Before I say another word, let me tell you I love you. Let me hold you close and say these words as gently as I can. There's been another man that I've needed and I've loved, but that doesn't mean I love you less. And he knows he can't possess me, and he knows he never will. There's just this empty place inside of me that only he can fill. Torn between two lovers, feeling like a fool. Loving both of you is breaking all the rules. Torn between two lovers, feeling like a fool. Loving you both is breaking all the rules. You mustn't think you failed me just because there's someone else. You were the first real love I ever had. And all the things I ever said, I swear they still are true. For no one else can have the part of me I gave to you. Torn between two lovers, feeling like a fool. Loving both of you is breaking all the rules. Torn between two lovers, feeling like a fool. Loving you both is breaking all the rules. I couldn't really blame you if you turned and walked away. But with everything I feel inside, I'm asking you to stay. Torn between two lovers, feeling like a fool. Loving both of you is breaking all the rules. Torn between two lovers, feeling like a fool. Loving you both is breaking all the rules. Torn between two lovers, feeling like a fool. Loving both of you is breaking all the rules. Torn between two lovers, feeling like a fool.
And welcome back, mates. You just listened to Torn Between Two Lovers by Mary McGregor. And unfortunately, it is almost time to close the show. I did have a few answers that I wanted to read earlier about our bite-sized banter question was, if you had the opportunity to talk to yourself from the future for 30 minutes, what would you ask? And I had a message here from Choi Sung-nim that I overlooked. I'm so sorry. Here we go. Choi Sung-nim said, what are you going to do with 100 million won in 10 years? My goal is saving around that amount of money. 10년 동안 열심히 일해서 모을까 합니다. So that's a very good question to ask your future self. And also, Julia Neem had an answer after our song break too, saying, I want to ask my future self, what is the most profitable commodity on the stock market? And that was one of my answers also, but unfortunately, I don't think my future self would know the answer. Well, now it is time to wrap up the show. Thank you so much for everyone participating and sending in your answers. I really appreciate it, and I love the back and forth conversations that we have always on the radio. And I've been your host, Kimberly, and now it's time for our last song. Here is Pain by The War on Drugs. Thank you for listening and have a great day, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye!
is on the way.